What's up, guys? Barry Game here, back with some more Idle Heroes, and today we're back having more fun with this giant killer penny copy. Still doing really good here. The holy armor could be better as like the fire or something, but it is what it is. We are running near 100% crit chance. We're not going to try to outspeed the enemy, I don't believe at all. So we're going to try a very offensive version, as you guys can see. Really high stats here. We're even going for attribute reduction purify for like those annoying ticks waves and stuff like that. I think it's better than, well, it's interesting because, as you guys know, we do get what we get, an extra layer, this nice little dynamite armor. Consume a layer of dynamite armor to offset the next control effect. It happens every time we deal crit damage, but that doesn't mean we have to get an attack off. And if we're going slow, I don't know if it's gonna happen. Either way, let's just jump right into it. Let's see what we can do here today. We'll chuck the other heroes in as well. This giant killer, this Vesta just keeps staring me down every single time we get here, every time. But again, we are at Purgatory 1, which means we have a long way to go. She's very offensive, so she does have to survive through the onslaught. However, we are even going Balanced Strike just to see if it does anything. I don't know if it is. I think it might be a bad setup. It might be better with Unbending Will, but it's kind of how I want to try running this. Because usually we should not get to the end of round 1. This is one of those weird waves where, yeah, we might run into issues if we get doved in round 1. Oh, we actually went first? So much damage. Oh yeah, I forgot to check our potions as well. 5% crit, so we have a 96% crit chance. Not too bad. Now, this is a tricky wave. If you guys remember, Sigmund is one of the most difficult heroes to beat in I almost said Sealand. One of the most difficult heroes to beat in Aspen Dungeon. So you do have to be prepared to take a lot of damage from them. However, if we can get away and kill them before they use their active ability, you're kind of in a good spot. The round where they use their active is usually really where it becomes very dangerous. And again, like I said, we do have to take a lot of hits, but we do have a lot of power on this account too. So it shouldn't be too big an issue. The only issue I'm wondering we're going to have is potentially healing. But again, we are actually still faster than a lot of these enemies without even running a speed stone. Going second, though, isn't always the worst thing in the world. I do kind of feel bad, though, because we're one-shotting just about everything, which means we're not really healing off Balanced Strike. And we're not really not critting, so we're not even getting the extra 30% damage, which means it is definitely a waste to not be running Unbending Will right now. Definitely feels that way. So again, we are outspeeding some enemies. I do think the big hurdle comes in when we do get to the level 30, and that's why our previous record is 34, because once you get to that difficulty, usually the enemies are going before you. Like, every enemy is going before you, which leads to a lot of issues. Like, a lot of issues. Whew. So we'll have to see how that turns out. You get more difficult enemies as well. That's fine. We don't even have to worry about round 2 twining. This one is one of the waves that does scare me, though, because... oh my goodness. We actually got lucky. The first round, we didn't get doved. The second round, I think we had that dynamite armor to not have to deal with that CC. So that was actually really good. The only time this could be bad if it's like Drake or Carrie dodges an attack, I think we're just done for. Boom, but she just demolishes these enemies, especially when we also have a Punisher of Immortal that's upgraded, so that's additional damage when we crit, which is really good for us. Yeah, I think we gotta save the demon potions for like a wave that we are really questioning ourselves on. Honestly, it might come down to using it on like a wave where we just need some healing, to be honest. Ooh, double penny wave. I don't know how this actually turns out. Did she not crit right there? Is that kind of what happened there? Or did we crit her? Their reflect armor went off first before our passive went off. That is sucky. So essentially what I think what happens is we crit the enemy, which was going to, you know, trigger the nice big AoE. However, first, their reflection armor offset 60% of the damage we dealt and reflected it back to ourselves. This is some penny on penny hate right here. And because we didn't have Unbending Will, oh my gosh, it just killed us straight through it. Oh, we are of course still pushing Tower of Dreams. I guess we can try to do that as well. Honestly, we can just keep the same setup and it should be fine. We can throw in a couple little support heroes though. Or I should say point uppers. We'll keep in the Queen just for giving us points. The enemy does go before us, which does make this a little bit more sketchy. I don't know if we can do depth 7. Oh yeah, okay. That really threw me for a loop. I thought we didn't crit for a second, but what happened is Penny attacks, Garuda does her follow-up hit, and then the proc happens with the big AoE. Kind of like the same thing we just talked about happened in the Aspen Dungeon, where our AoE didn't happen because the reflect damage happens before that. Kind of annoying. Kind of annoying, to be honest. It's so weird having a Garuda on your team with the Penny. My goodness. Boom. I like it. Get the damage in. Honestly, let's just see if we can skip through a lot of these. If we come across one that looks a little challenging, we'll look at it. But even these waves, they go for the low HP targets. That should not be an issue. This one could be an issue, so we will take a look. This is one of the most infamous waves, I feel like, but we do have attribute reduction purify, which should get rid of that some of the ticks damage reduction. However, we did not do much damage there because of the ticks. My goodness. I think we got rid of like an armor reduction instead of the attack reduction, so even if we do crit, we're not going to be doing much damage. This is where going after the ticks really is not great. You might want to switch to the speed stone and see if we can outspeed the ticks. Do we just keep getting those layers? We're literally doing 1 point of damage at this point. Oh my gosh. This is the worst wave possible. So let's try going the route of speed and see what happens. If we can't, well, here's the thing. Like, the only time we're going to outspeed them is round 1. After round 1, oh, I mean, that was some good damage there, but after speed 1, we're going to be speed swapped by the Olivias, which means we go after the Tixes anyway, and the Tixes are going to smart target our Penny most of the time. We got rid of a Sherlock. I mean, our Sherlock even dubbed their Sherlock. Interesting. There's hope. Maybe no, we did 1 point of damage there. Because you also have to remember they also have the speed swap, and then if we get shrunk on top of that, that just lowers our damage even more. Yeah, we're doing like literally 1 point of damage to the enemy team here. All because these Tixes and everything, they're just lowering our damage output so much. Yeah, we're just literally doing a single point of damage, and I think we are just hard stuck on this one right here. I don't think even a million attempts is going to get us past this, sadly. Do 4 more, 3 more, 2 more. No, it's just there's no way for us to do enough damage because of the Olivia speed swap. Even if we purify it, we're going to get CC'd, or not CC'd, we're going to get attack reduction right after that. So we'll come back. We'll keep trying stuff on this Penny account. Hopefully you guys enjoy. So let me know if you enjoy watching an old school hero like Penny kind of beat some newer game modes, and I'll see you guys next time.